Hi. And I'm going, oh my goodness, my God, puppy. Anyway, hey guys, it's Emily and Scout, and I'm back today with another swimsuit tutorial. Wow, Scout is already bored. Rude. No big surprise, it's a swimsuit tutorial, but this one is a little bit different because we're going to be upcycling today. I'm actually wearing the before version right now. Oh, I'm wearing the before version of what we're going to be thrifting, and I'm going to be turning it into a swimsuit that is in the Camila Coelho Revolve collection. She has all these beautiful clothes and swimsuits, and they're gorgeous, but they're really pricey. So today I just wanted to show you how you can make them for way less money. Like this shirt I got at the Salvation Army for $4, and I'm going to turn it into something that at least hopefully looks exactly like what she was wearing. So yeah, don't fool yourself into thinking that you have to spend all that money. Instead, I will show you how to make it, so let's get started. So I always forget to say this when I'm filming the intro, but don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video and all that good stuff. Okay, now let's really get started. Alright, this is what the full shirt looks like. I don't know if you can see the bottom. But yes, it's just an extra large college t-shirt. It's got some nice stretch to it, which is obviously good for swimwear. It's just like pretty plain, good fabric to work with. I've got a lot clearly to work with. So I'm replicating this entire outfit as best as possible down to the accessories. The only thing I couldn't find were the sunglasses, which are always super hit or miss at the thrift store. So I'm just going to use whatever sunglasses I have. And other than that, I'm using just some regular swimwear lining fabric that I had on hand already. Always have some of that. You'll also need 100% polyester thread and some really supportive padding like you see here. Also, I found these little half rings at Hobby Lobby. These were $3.99 and I used a 40% off coupon, so they were even less because I'm cheap like that. Here they are up close. Also, she's wearing a headband in the photo that I'm going off of, and I couldn't for the life of me tell, for one, what was on the bandana, and two, where she got it from. So I decided to just wing it and go in a completely different direction, and I got this fun flames one instead, which I think is going to be even better. And it looked like she was wearing hoop earrings, so I thrifted those as well, and just like a plain chain necklace, which I already had at home. And that is all you need, really. Alright, and now let's get started. Starting with cutting our fabric, we're going to be using our lining fabric first, especially since, we have a finite amount of the other fabrics. So I figured that I would start with the lining fabric and then cut into the other one using this as a kind of guide. As far as a pattern goes, I really never use them. I just use clothes that I already have in my closet, and in this case I already had a bandeau bikini top, so I just traced around that. But if you don't have one, you could also use a strapless bra or whatever you have in your closet. And it doesn't have to be exact because you can honestly just fit things as you go, and swimwear is stretchy, so it doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, I followed the same process for the other pieces and did the same thing for the front and the back of those bottoms. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut it out of our t-shirt fabric. As you can see, I have my cutting board between the two to make sure that I don't cut through the other side, and then I just laid my pieces of fabric out on top of there and cut them out. Now this step you're going to skip. I made a mistake because I wasn't paying attention, but don't sew that bottom seam. Instead, you're going to follow this step where you just sew the sides of that bottom, but not the bottom seam. This step is going to be the same though, where you put one piece inside of the other, keeping right sides together, and then you're going to sew the leg openings together, which will be even simpler because it isn't a circle. So you're just going to sew along those. Again, the bottom will be open. Don't make the same mistake as me. At this point, I had realized my mistake, so I'd already seam ripped that open, So yours should already be looking like this, and at this point you're going to do a little bit of like origami basically. You're going to flip one side out and then put it inside the other, keeping right sides together. So your like swimwear fabric will be touching your swimwear fabric and your lining fabric against your lining fabric, and then line them up at the bottom until you have that little hole, and then you'll just sew along there to finish off the bottom part. Now, finishing off, we're just going to cut out a little piece where the ring is. So I just traced inside of that to know where I wanted it to be and how big it should be, and then cut out that opening. Be careful though, only to cut through the 2 front pieces of fabric. I accidentally got a back lining piece when I did this and had to fix it, which I'll show you later, so pay attention and don't make that same mistake. Now you're going to seam rip a little opening in the lining fabric at the bottom, and then you're going to flip it out through there, because to make these seamless, we're gonna be going through that little hole. So after you've put that hole in there, flip it right side out. Then you'll put your lining fabric and regular fabric together, and you'll sew along that top edge, making sure to follow around the curve that we just cut out when you get to it. Now that that's all sewn together, I'm going to cut off the excess fabric, and then I'm going to cut like little slits into it that go up to the thread but don't cut through it, and this will just make the circle more defined. Also, as you can see, I didn't mention this, but I added elastic around the leg holes, and that'll keep the fabric from flipping and moving around when you're wearing them. Next, you'll sew a straight stitch right next to that curved part, and that's just what you're going to pull your hoop through later, so make sure it's wide enough to fit your hoop through. Moving on to our very easy top, I put front and back pieces together, right sides together, and sewed along those side edges. Then you're going to put the lining and regular fabric together and sew along the top and bottom edge. And as you can see, I added elastic to the top edge to make it stay a little bit better, to give it a little shape. Then you're going to put your nice supportive padding inside there and roll over the inside edge, leaving an opening big enough to put your hoop through. After that, you're going to fold over that side edge, and that is where you're going to put your hook through. So on one side, leave a hole open, and on the other side, add your hook to it, as you can see there. Now we're going to do a little bit of seam ripping at the top edge between where you sewed the straight stitch and the top of the curve, and that's what you're going to pull your hoop through. So after you do that, you can just pull your hoop through, and you already have openings that are ready to go for the top, so you can just pull your hoop through those as well. That's how it'll look once you're done with all of that. Alright, so these are pretty much done. I just tried them on, and I realized that the top is a little bit big, and one thing that I could do to make it smaller is like take this apart and take it in from the side seam here, but that feels like too much work and I don't want to do it. So I'm going to go back in through here where I still have an opening at the crotch, and then I'm just going to use this elastic. Okay, yeah, this is not much elastic. I'm gonna find more elastic, and I'm going to pull it all the way around the top from the inside to make it fit better. One more thing, when you're sewing, like when you're cutting this part out, make sure not to cut it out of the back too, which is what I accidentally did. Luckily, it wasn't in the, like this part in the orange fabric. I definitely don't have enough left of that I could redo these. It was just in the lining fabric, so I literally just sewed another piece in there. Oh well. Before finishing up, I'm going to take a piano break because I am tired of sewing. So yeah, let's just play the piano instead. Also, it's probably going to be terrible. I'm definitely going to mess up because I haven't played this song in months, so I'm sorry in advance. It was only the intro, but I will take it. What, Scout? I would keep playing, but Scout just had to come in. Isn't that right, Scout? What? Thank you. Okay, back to sewing. This is from earlier in the process, but this is just to show you how I pulled the elastic a little bit as I sew, so that's what I did along the top. Alright, at this point I'm all done. It only took a couple of hours actually, or maybe like 3 or 4 hours in all, so it's a really quick and easy thing to make, and at this point all there is left to do is put on the accessories and show it to you. Once again, here's how it looked at the beginning, and here is me attempting to do a transition into the final product. And if by some chance I'm lucky enough that Camila, you're watching this, obrigada por assistir, eu te amo e seu estilo também. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really love these kinds of videos, so I think I'm going to be doing more of these soon. Let me know who else I should cover. And thank you, thank you for watching. I already said that. Also, if you want to check me out on social media, I'll be posting a bunch more designs and stuff there, like on Instagram and on TikTok and stuff, so check that out here. And I will see you next time.